You set the table, put on a playlist, even made the lasagna from scratch. And now you're wearing it. OxyClean Max Force Spray tackles tough, set-in stains the first time. Adulting is hard. Fighting stains shouldn't be. OxyClean Max Force. It's not clean unless it's OxyClean.
The road to the NBA Finals ends here, with star guard setting the tone. The Cavs eye another upset, while the Knicks carry the dreams of all of New York. The Eastern Conference Finals, Cavaliers-Knicks, Game 1, tonight on ESPN.
We're on the honor system.
I suppose that is on the honor system, too.
Cow on the honor system? That's pretty good, Dean Higgins.
Stop trying to butter me up. I know that isn't funny.
Everybody, it's graduation day here on what's the podcast I'm doing? It's called Buena Vista Boys. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I forget now. It's graduation day on Buena Vista Boys because today is the final installment of the Medfield College trilogy, The Strongest Man in the World. And with me, as always, is the second strongest man in the world, Matt. Oof. Matt, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, no, I'm here for it. I am sad to see the series go, but I'm glad we're done with it at the same time.
It is, yeah. I guess there's something familiar about it. What struck me is how little of this movie involved Dexter Riley to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the man was not in this movie hardly at all.
I didn't do it, but I was going to get like a screen count. Like how much screen time he actually took up. I think, dude, I would probably say about 12 minutes in total.
Oh yeah. Like actual 12. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was probably in 7 scenes, 8 scenes, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. That's it. It was the Skylar show.
Yeah, absolutely. Skylar.
That's what it was.
Dean Higgins hour.
Man, I tell you what, look, we have a lot to say about this movie, clearly. Yeah. But anyway, Strongest Man in the World, starring Kurt Russell. And, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about this movie. It was, well, we were talking about it before the show.
Oh.
And it fought both of us very hard.
Yeah.
Like, it sounded like we had similar experiences, but you watched it twice.
I did watch it twice.
I barely watched it once.
Yeah. Well, and here's the funny, I watched it twice and you saw something at the very end. You said that I absolutely did not notice. So how much did I really watch it?
Because this movie is hard. It was a hard movie for me to watch because it kind of weak.
Yeah.
For being the strongest man in the world, you would think it would be a stronger film, right? But it was kind of weak. It's weaker than a movie about a kid who gets strong from eating cereal that had chemicals spilled on it.
Yeah.
Can actually be.
Chemical X.
The premise is already, weak, but it's a Disney premise. And even beside that, I feel like there are, eras of Disney films that people talk about classically, like the golden age of Disney animation or whatever. But I think the live action have something along those similar lines. This is like the slapstick 60s, 70s era of Disney live action movies where it's, here's a car that comes to life or whatever,
Here's a duck that lays gold.
Yeah. Here's a series about some kids who in any other movie, in any other generation would be absolute stoners.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If this movie was in the 90s, these kids would just be growing weed in their
they'd be growing
their dorm or whatever.
Yeah.
They would go hybrid, right? And so it was just, it's that's what it is. It's like, oh, we got chemicals on the cereal of all things.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. Much of the dialogue in the movie is banter.
Mm-hmm.
That's how thin this premise is. There's not a whole lot of advancement because the plot is not hard to figure out, right? It's a weak plot to begin with, and we'll get into it.
Yeah.
But and then much of that banter is exasperated yelling. So I only pulled like 6 clips because there's not a whole lot there. I was struggling to not only get to the end, but I was struggling to figure out what to bring to the show to maintain a contextual sort of frame of reference for what's happening versus what you're going to hear.
Yeah.
A lot of the clips I wanted to pull were like 5 seconds of talking about what's happening and then just sound effects. It's just like, I don't like the whole last 20 minutes is just sound effects because there's a whole weightlifting competition we'll get into, but there's no actual friggin' audio or dialogue at all. It's just driving and then fighting and then driving and then grunting and then like, oh, they did it. And like, oh, it's over. This is great.
I know. And like the whole thing is couched. I mean, knee deep in cereal. And the commerce of selling cereal. Yeah.
And, it's interesting, though, because apparently I learned how you get to be the #1 selling cereal.
Yeah.
And that's by having college kids lift heavy weight. By virtue of that fact, then you become #1 cereal.
It's one thing.
So,
well, yeah. One thing I want to point out that goes along with what you're saying, and then we'll get into it. But it's like the thing that is mind-blowing about this is, movies tend to have this when they make sequels and everything, there tends to be a drop off, like in quality. There's you're coming back to this well over and over again and you're having fewer ideas. The first movie had Dexter as a computer and he is traveling the world. He's wearing new clothes. Things are happening. There's stuff being written in the newspapers and whatnot. This is an event.
Yeah.
The next one, it's a little bit smaller, right? You've got they make the invisibility potion and it's not nearly as big, there's still a little hubbub about it. They've got some applications that they want to use this for. And then I don't want to spoil it yet, but this movie goes down, takes a walk around the block and comes on back. Like, for a potion that makes the strongest man in the world, they go nowhere, buddy.
It is like the family walk after Thanksgiving, where you saunter around a little bit and then suddenly you're on the couch with your hand in your pants, sleeping. Like that's what this movie is.
Boy, howdy. All right, let's get over it.
Let's get into it.
Let's get it
All
done.
Right. Here we go, boys. Put your leotards on. We're hitting the strongest man in the world.
The time has come to talk turkey.
To say nothing of cereal.
Say nothing.
Sit down, Roscoe.
Sorry, Harriet.
Okay, so before we start, of course, this is the People Whomst You Need to Know segment. You know everybody by now. All of the favorites return, basically. You know what I mean? The kids in the background kind of change.
Yeah.
You got Kurt Russell as Dexter. Okay, of course. You have Cesar Romero back as A.J. Arno, the crime boss, who doesn't seem to learn. Besides, his advanced age aside, you'd think he would know by now. Crime doesn't pay, A.J. Joe Flynn as Dean Higgins. Eve Arden as Harriet, which is the one of these cereal magnates, and then Dick Van Patten is here as Harry. So he's back. We've seen him before. I think he was in the last one, right?
Well, he was in the Shaggy DA too.
Okay,
right?
maybe that's what I was thinking about.
I'm pretty sure he was in the Shaggy DA. I'll have to look that up.
And he's great too. That's the thing. Okay, all of the stuff we just said in the last segment aside, all of these people are fantastic actors. Even as little screen time as Kurt Russell has, some of the reactions, that's what I like to do. Whenever other people are talking, I like to look at the people's reactions around whoever's talking. And Kurt Russell just has like the good reactions. He's always been a great actor. Mm-hmm. And he does the role really well. And then to keep up with all these other just dyed in the wool classic actors who can hold camera, he did a great job. Everybody did a fantastic job. As annoying as Joe Flynn was as Dean Higgins, especially in the last one, and especially in this movie, it's still a good job. You can't fault the kid, but like it just, anyway. We open on a rather uninspired and semi-lazy cartoon of what looks like a toddler being strong.
Yeah.
I know it's supposed to be Dexter, but he is like toddler looking. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. The timing and pacing of the cartoon is really slow. It's in black. Yeah. It's not in black and white, but it's not colored. It's penciled in.
Yeah, and it's
outlined, and then the background is blue, so everything's blue. So it's black and blue.
It's very hurried looking.
Yes, it's like it's rough sketch kind of thing. But I guess that's also what, going back to the beginning, it's a weak movie. Mm-hmm. Even the intro doesn't know what it wants to be. The music kind of starts slowly, quietly, and then Atlas comes with the earth on his back, and then he drops it, and then the cartoon Dexter picks it up and spins on his finger, and then the music happens, and then there's something else happens, and that's slow, and the music stops and slows down, and it's just already the pacing. I have some of the movie here, or some of the song.
I remember when we were doing Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, and it's just paying your dues. Such a far cry.
You are gonna make it, yeah. And then there is zero words. Here's the thing. And it's just, hang on a second. I thought I saw someone's name here. Yeah, John Debney. Is that the composer, John Debney?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's the one, the only, the gorgeous, the beautiful, the never outdone.
He's playing someone called John in here, and I wonder if it's the same as the composer, the svelte John Debney.
I want to think so, but I'm going to look that up later.
I want to think so too. Yeah, please. Yeah, you look that up. But anyway, it's very 70s, and it's very TV show where, you expect after the dun dun dun, expect to hear like the strongest man of the world is filmed before a live television studio audience.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Well, and you're going to hear us say that a lot, y'all, is that this feels like so much like a long episode of a TV show, and there's a reason for that.
Okay, well, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
But you know what? The music is as weird as it is for this. It is good. It's a classic kind of 70s jaunt. And it's light, and it's, I just want more. This is the thing. I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah.
I just wanted more for it. I wanted more of it. That's the thing.
Okay.
I wanted more music. I wanted more Dexter Riley. I wanted more hijinks.
Yeah.
I wanted less overacting, but I wanted more story, and I didn't get it.
I wanted this movie to care more for itself. If that makes sense, you know what I mean?
Yes. If I was on Reddit with this movie, I would anonymously report it as needing some emotional support.
Yeah, I wanted this movie to give a little bit more crap about itself.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's valued. It has a place in the world. It'll find its way. Anyway, our old pal Dean Higgins pulls up to school in what I think is a Rolls Royce of all cars. It's an older model, but it had the same kind of hood ornament on the top with like the almost like an Oscar, but with wings,
Yeah.
I think it's a Rolls. I just want to make sure.
It's not. It is not a. I've got it. I know exactly what it is. It took me
I think it's a Rolls, so I'm wrong. Matt will teach me in the next segment.
You know why you think it's a Rolls? Because these little monsters.
Don't spoil it.
I'm not going to tell you, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
Because they basically took a certain car and then they did something to it to make it look fancier than it is.
Love it. I love it. See, I love that. But anyway, to me, the uninitiated looks like a Rolls, and I'm going, how much is the Dean getting paid to do this, right? But again, we're back at the animation studio, the Walt Disney Animation Studio, so that's kind of neat. You can kind of just see the city being built up around it, and it's just, I don't know, I always like that. He's in a meeting with someone from the Board of Regents, and we learn that the board wants Higgins fired. Okay, so I have opinions on things on this movie for sure, but when I watch these movies, I really do try and keep my opinions neutral, right? Because It's art from a different time period. It's written by, people who are no longer around, probably, different, whatever, right? But 2 minutes into the opening scene, I'm on edge. Dean Higgins has taken more classes at the Jerry Lewis School of Comedy and Timing. He's just extra, and I have a little bit of it. It's not necessarily what drives that point home too well, but you'll get the idea. Here it is.
Okay.
They feel that your problems here at the school are overwhelming.
Well, so do I.
And the board wants action. New blood, fresh ideas, top-level changes, Higgins. That's what the board wants. And frankly, I agree.
Oh, good thinking, Deeds. Yes. Fresh faces, new blood, top-level changes. That's the ticket.
Good. Good to hear that you agree. When are you leaving?
Oh, just as soon as I can get... What? When am I... Well, you didn't mean top-level changes.
Yes, Higgins. Top level.
Well, not the very tippy top. Well, surely not the very tippy top.
Yes, I'm afraid the very tippy top. Let's face it, Higgins. You've had years to get this place back on its financial feet, and you haven't done it. Waste. Here, look at this budget. Well, the costs for the science department alone, they're ridiculous.
Oh, the science department. That's that Quigley again. Oh, I know what. I'll fire him. That'll end the waste. Oh, I guarantee that. Quigley out, waste out. You'll see. Oh.
I'm afraid firing Quigley is not going to satisfy the Board of Regents.
Waste, fraud, and abuse, folks. That's what's happening over at friggin' Medfield College. That's just what's going on. And there's a whole, the whole thing leading up to this is Higgins gets out of his car and he's limping. And this whole scene is set up. It's taking place around him limping. And the guy from the Board of Regents is like, I want to tell you something, but I can't because you're just talking about your foot. Sit down. And so Higgins limps over and he's like, oh, you're right. That does feel better. Oh, and I'm like, oh my God, shut up. It was a hard one, folks. But, like I said, he did a good job. Just not what I wanted out of it. That's all.
Yeah, there's a lot of character acting going on the entire time here. It's almost like they didn't script anything out and they're just like, all right, you guys we got to get to this. Okay, but my budget. All right.
With the flavin. Yeah.
Just
it's almost like, someone at the studio is like, okay, we're in contract. We got to do a third one of these stupid things. So, here's my brother-in-law's cousin. You just do it. And he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. You guys have been around Hollywood a long time. Why don't you, here's the loose notes on the scene. And I just want you guys to just go for it. And we'll just shoot. We got 15 cameras and we'll just take it all. One take, whatever it happens. And so Higgins is like, okay, hey,
yeah, man. All these scenes with Higgins are they're so long. They just run so long. And it's like I started to become incredulous because I'm like, no one talks this long or like this. Or every scene, everyone is oblivious to what's happening.
For sure. Yeah. Well, they all got to get their observations out. It's wild. It's a wild scene. But eventually what happens is Dean Higgins goes, all right, we're going to fire Quigley, who's the head of the science department. And the guy from the Regents is like, that's not going to be enough, and he's like, Dean Higgins like, oh, well, you can't fire me. I'm just in my fundraising moment. That's what you need, right? Money. And he's like, yeah, that's what we're talking about. And the whole time I'm going, wasn't it last year you just invented invisibility and then the year before you turned a kid into a computer? You can't do anything with that information.
Dude, but I know that's what pisses me off about these movies in general is that they keep the timeline of like AJ Arno always going to prison for something, but they will not mention what happened last year ever. They never mention the computer in the next one, and now you see him, now you don't. They never mention the invisibility from the last movie. And it's like, dude, you would have patented that liquid sold it to the government and you would have become a university.
I know, even just like whatever, because they ran out or something because they couldn't figure it out, right? They didn't know how it became electrically charged or whatever. At least start this one going like, well, that budget was because we were trying to replicate the invisibility thing from last year and we couldn't do it.
Any connective
just
tissue.
A little line. This is my wife. It drives my wife absolutely friggin' bonkers because I do this, by the way, folks. This is what it's like to be married to me. I do this on normal TV shows too and movies. And I go, just give me a line to tie these two things together because whatever's happening right now, I don't understand it. And I'm too old to figure it out. And I don't want to just gloss over it and go, it's fine. I won't worry too much. I want to know. I want to worry about it. I'm a worrier. Just tie. Give me 5 seconds more. Anyway.
Well, it's because every single movie, the premise after the first one, well, even the first one, every premise has been, we need to make money. And they keep making these world changing discoveries. And then they never have any money. And it's like, you're a crappy little college who's like broken the science of the world open 3 times and you still don't have any money. Like,
well, and like the science budget is presumably based on the discoveries they're making. But if you don't have money, why is the budget being increased?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no demand from the science department to produce anything. Anyway, whatever. So we have that. We meet up with Dexter, Skylar, and the rest of the kids in the science lab as Higgins arrives to fire their teacher, Professor Quigley, put respect on his name. And speaking of acting classes, the Jerry Lewis School of Comedy and Timing, Skylar is either on those tasty pep pills that Lim Siddons was on in Follow Me Boys, or he's overacting for some reason because this man's eyes get as round as the moon several times. And I'm surprised he didn't just displace an ocular nerve in some of these scenes. He was going for. I was looking for his teeth to be grinding. This man was on one.
Skylar was looking for a spinoff. Absolutely.
I think so too.
He was like, if I do a really good job.
So true to his word, Higgins fires Quigley. And as he's leaving the lab, he slams the door, setting off a chain reaction that sees an unknown chemical A dumping out in a container B, causing color C to blend with tube D and on until it reaches the bowl of cereal. Yes, cereal, because college kids, ? And after a little shimmy and a pop, the newly formed experiment is consumed by a cow. I did forget to mention that the kids are working on a new vitamin that will help cows gain more weight.
Yeah.
So there's a live cow in the lab.
Yes.
And Dean Higgins does not enjoy that fact
No,
at
he does
all.
not like that at one bit. And Skylar is actually grinding up bottles of vitamins. He's got a grinder and he's grinding vitamins into powder to put into the cereal for the cow. That's his idea.
Which I like his idea of science is taking things off the shelf that already exist in a concoction and just repowderizing them and then put them on cereal because cows love cereal.
If I pulverize this, it's science.
Like, you should not have a science lab access, kid. So that happens, and the effect of all of the chemical reaction stuff looks cool. It looks great. Yeah. Colors are always great on screen, and this just it's one of those science stuff for no reason scenes where there's like curly tubes of blue liquid and then a lot of smoke, and it's fun.
And there's no context for any of it because Dexter already has a container of what he's working on.
Right,
and
which we never know, by the way. We never know what he's working on, but this is what Skylar's been working on.
Yeah.
And we have no idea what any of this stuff is. We don't even know it. And they don't even want to tell us. They don't even give a shit. They're like, okay, whatever.
They think we're that dumb.
Yeah. So that's right. So they're feeding this cow whatever to try to make it fat, whatever. During the cleanup, Dexter notices the new colors in the tubes, and in true safety lab protocol, he touches his finger to the spout at the end of the whole like Rube Goldberg machine of science, and he tastes it, puts it in his mouth. Just whatever this. What's this?
Hydrochloric acid. Well, we'll find out.
Deeming it interesting, he collects the remaining blue liquid in a test tube and looks at it deeply. I suppose if I had 2 wild and crazy encounters with lab waste, I too would be collecting jars of fluid just in case. Later that night, Dexter gets a call from the farmer who rented the kids the cow, telling him that the cow had already given them 80 gallons of milk and is still going strong. Like the whole family is it's a funny little bit because like the whole family's out there in the barn, just pails and pails and pails of milk. No one thought to get a bigger container. It's just this family had 8 million pails, just aluminum pails lying around just in case this day ever showed. And it did. And they're like, this is great. The cow's doing wonderful. Poor cow.
God, where could you sell all that milk too? It's like,
I mean, yeah, like to me, put it in a container. What are you doing? It's just out. Anyway, whatever. It wouldn't be visual, right? That's the thing. The next morning, Dexter's eating some of Skylar's cereal, the same stuff he had in the lab, because during the cleanup, Skylar just took the bowl of cow cereal. It didn't have any milk in it. That would be weird, I guess. And he just dumped it back into the box.
But you assume that it had all the vitamins he'd ground into it.
It had ground up vitamins. There's one point in the thing when he's putting stuff in, he ground up a piece of pizza.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I didn't know you could do because you can't really grind mushy dough. You're just smashing it.
They just had it on hand too.
Yeah. Well, college.
Of course.
Who knows what else they put in there? You know what I mean? Not to mention this crazy blue fluid, but they didn't really know that fell in there. So who knows? And he just put it back in the box and just took it home to eat it. Because, why not? Well, Dexter takes a bite and he blows smoke out of his nose in like a neat little effect, like some dry ice or whatever in his nose or in his mouth, and just exhaled through his nose, and then goes, I don't think I want any of your cereal. And he takes his leave. And Skylar says nothing. Dexter says nothing about the smoke or like the jumping cereal. The cereal kind of pops, and like it's like
it vibrates and pops.
Yeah. Doesn't say anything, despite the previous 2 films, despite the fact that this has happened 2 other times to him, where something weird has happened because of what happened in the lab, and everybody should really know about it just in case something weird goes on. But he's like, I don't want any of your cereal. It made me blow smoke out of my nose. Nothing could be wrong or off with this at all.
What's even worse is he says, why don't you give it to your dog? He'll eat it.
He gets ready for school and tells Skylar to give the rest of the cereal that makes him smoke up to their dog.
Yes. He's just like, it might be poison. Why don't you give it to the dog?
Yeah. What a good dude. Yeah. It vibrates, it pops, it makes me blow smoke out of my nose. You know who's going to love it? Your 4-pound dog. That'll be great for it, I'm sure. But that's like a whole subplot. It's kind of a whole thing. So the entire squad, all the housemates, walk to school together. And Dexter starts showing signs of his wild strength. He's ripping off doorknobs, bending lamp posts.
Yeah.
At school, he does a slam dunk maneuver, jumping wildly into the air and ripping off the entire backboard of like the little half court there. Dexter starts heading home and someone cries, "You're going the wrong way." And Dexter replies, "No, I'm not. Come on." And the gang rushes off together. We squatted up now, folks. Yep. We're not doing anything on our own anymore. No nagging girlfriend in our dune buggy. No, sir. We're rolling 10 deep in this. They're like, oh, yeah, school. Who cares? Dexter needs our help for something.
Right. Well, because school cost a nickel back then. It's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Dude, I got a test on Euripides. I can't. God bless you, Dexter, but whatever. So everyone bursts into Dean Higgins' office while he's doing his best Mr. Frond impression from Bob's Burgers. And Skylar gives him the lowdown on what's going on. So what's happening is Frond is essentially berating a larger student about eating in class.
I've got complaints here from our janitorial service. They're reporting large cake crumbs in rooms 306 and 308. Now, this is very serious business, Elmer. Teachers I can get, students I can get, but janitors, oh. So consider this a final warning, Elmer. I don't care what you do out of class, but in class, no more jelly beans, no more cake, no more cookies, no more... Elmer, am I getting through to you?
Hey, Dean Higgins, guess what?
Guess what? Guess nothing. How dare you burst into my office when I'm reprimanding a student?
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to interrupt, but something happened to Dexter.
Something happened to Dexter. Something is always happening to him. That's nothing new. Besides, that's no excuse to come... Quigley, what are you doing here?
I'm afraid I don't know, sir.
Listen, Dexter got strong. I mean, really strong. Professor Quigley, your ideas on that formula really worked.
Are you talking about the formula you used on the cow?
Yeah.
All right, you kids. All right. Now.
Hey, Dean Higgins. Look. Yes. Oh, and that's just with his right hand. Show him what you can do with your left, Dex. You see what I mean?
Hey, let me down, will you? Yes, for heaven's sakes, let him down before he breaks something.
They burst into the office and explain what's going on. And then Dexter's like, I'm just gonna show you, you know? And so he lifts up this kid in the chair that Dean Higgins is telling not to leave giant cake crumbs.
Yeah.
Stop it, dude. And then he picks up Skylar with his left hand, and Skylar's like standing in his hand. He's like just lifting him up. Skylar has like the worst shoes. It's just they're threadbare Converse.
Yeah, I noticed that.
You know they stink.
Yeah.
You know they absolutely stink. Yeah, but anyway, so we have another Dean Higgins heavy scene, digging into his old shtick with the Blavin and the Wahoos. Seeing a way to save the college yet again, Higgins grabs a meeting with the board of the people who make the cereal Crumply Crunch, the cereal we've been eating this whole time. He sits down and eats a bowl of this cereal, and it's popping and crackling all over the place. He's in the board room, right? He's in a board meeting with everybody. Then his glasses fog up in a neat little effect, and Viola, he's strong. He goes through a whole show, lifting a barbell, swinging on a chandelier, even going so far as to karate chop the comically long boardroom table in half, while a soft gong hit plays in the background, so you know what he's doing is from the Orient. He's doing an Oriental maneuver. Yeah, it's just like, bong, I'm going to karate chop because this is karate and it's from the Orient, you guys. Don't you know that? And I can't help but wonder, why does he want to sell this formula to the cereal company? Number one, he doesn't even know what it is. And based on the other two movies, he can probably assume it's not repeatable. So that's what's going on. This whole scene is like half the movie. It was thoroughly obnoxious.
Yeah.
You know, because Dean Higgins, it's just Dean Higgins, right? So he's full of himself. So he's strutting around, he's doing the thing, you know, whatever. And everyone's like, oh my God, he's so strong. We should definitely have this new vitamin compound in our cereal. Like, of all the places to go, you know, it's a cereal company.
I guess that's what annoyed me from Jump is like, I get that it was in the cereal. Okay, that's fine as a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm eating this cereal. But
Sure.
it's like, but then to anchor the entire movie in like, hey, we'll put this strength formula where you can basically lift a car into your commercial cereal. Like, did we have to take it so literal? The formula's in cereal, so we should probably take it to a cereal company.
Can you imagine I can't imagine like my 8-year-old child being just incredibly strong where she can karate chop a table in half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like swing from a chandelier. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the premise alone should have been vetted in like 4 seconds.
So stupid.
Mad 8-year-old at breakfast table disagrees with mom, punches face off of mom.
You know what I want this to be? You know what I want? Remakes are fashionable, right? What I want is the people who did like Popeye the Slayer Man and those, what was it called? What's that? Universe?
Bambi the Reckoning.
But like they did like a whole like Disney universe.
Yes, it's like the Fairy Tale Dark universe.
There you go. Yeah. I want them to remake this series.
Yeah.
This would be such a good slasher, like, you know, just knows what it is, kind of like comedy slasher movie.
A food that can make people ungodly strong gets loose. in the world.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Almost like The Purge.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that would be...
Well, see, this feels like a premise, like the way we're talking about it. This feels like something that would play really well in the same people who made like the Boys on...
oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Where it's just like kids are getting ungodly strong and like blowing up their pets and like smashing the school into pieces and everything. Just lots of blood, lots of explosions.
Like Maximum Overdrive, but for breakfast.
Right?
Like, we don't know what's going on.
A bowl of murder in the morning. But yeah, it's, I mean, that's I guess where my heart kind of sank in this movie. Is like, that's what we're doing. That's the cornerstone is we're trying to sell this to a cereal company.
This is the thing. It feels, this is what I mean by it feels weak. No pun intended again, obviously. Where we did this, it was just, I don't know how to describe it other than like, there's no mortar between the bricks.
Yeah.
There's no way that there's no linkage. There's no bridge here. And it's just like, well, the last scene had cereal in it. So this scene, we have to have cereal. We just have to do it.
Dean Higgins needs a crap ton of money to stay in charge. Right. And he didn't immediately go to the closest like military base and show them how he has a super soldier serum.
Right,
you know, I mean, you wouldn't think immediately to go to the government who would pay trillions for this to keep it out of the hands.
Give me a new job. Like, I don't need to be the dean of this podunk school.
Right?
The state college is ahead of me. Like, what am I doing? Who cares?
That's what I don't understand. Anyway. He just goes, "Oh, America, you don't want it? I'll call Red Russia right now. Don't worry."
Exactly.
Oh, hold on.
Papua New Guinea will give me their country for this.
What's the number for China?
Things go from weird to weirder, and I find myself wishing that the blender the screenwriter used to mix up several unrelated stories into this one had blown a fuse, because the CEO of Crumply Crunch calls the CEO of Crinkle Crunch with 2 Ks, because Crumply Crunch has 2 Cs, Crinkle Crunch has 2 Ks. And she, who is Aunt Harriet, challenges his company to a weightlifting exhibition by proxy of State College versus Medfield. Now, she will obviously be supporting Medfield since they have the upper hand with the formula, and the winner gets to claim the title of #1 cereal on the market. Because, as we all know in economics, we all learned it in high school, that's how it works. If you're the strongest, you are automatically #1.
Correct.
Sales don't matter at this point anymore. That's the thing. Crinkle Crunch is already #1. Crumply Crunch is #2.
Yeah.
#2 of cereal. They want to be #1, so they have strong teens lifting weights. That means they're #1. It doesn't mean that they need to sell more.
No.
They are.
My God.
That made me mad.
Also, the scenes of like these men in suits and they're chanting like Crinkle Crunch #1. Crinkle Crunch
We're #1. It's insane shit. It is all insane. The entire film up to this point reads like an old episode of the Batman TV show.
Yes.
And I don't have much hope of that feeling subsiding as we press on.
Yeah, God. Yeah, it's terrible.
Aunt Harriet, the aforementioned CEO of Crumply Crunch with 2 Cs, tells Higgins to be careful of corporate spies, saying they probably have one in their boardroom already, but she doesn't know who it is. As the camera pans around across the old white men, it flicks back to our pal Dick Van Patten, whom we later hear on a phone call to the CEO of Crinkle Crunch with 2 Ks.
This is me.
This is me.
Good. Will you follow?
I don't think so.
What is it, Harry?
You're in trouble, Crinkle.
Trouble?
Yes, that weightlifting match. Withdraw.
Withdraw? You're kidding. State has the greatest weightlifting team in the country. Why will wipe Medfield right off the map?
She's sandbagging you, Crinkle.
Sandbagging me?
Yes, that Medfield bunch have come up with a strength formula. They're putting in Aunt Harriet cereal that will literally knock your #1 out. I'm telling you, withdraw.
I can't withdraw. I just had a press conference. I announced the whole thing. In fact, I even bragged a little.
Then you're going to be number 2, Crinkle. I saw a demonstration of how that formula works, and believe me, Medfield is going to murder State.
Medfield's not going to murder State. Crinkle Crunch will never be number 2. Now look, Harry, I'm counting on you to get that formula. It's worth $100,000 to me.
It's worth a lot more than that.
All right, 150.
150 is okay for me, but this is a big job. I'll need help.
All right. Another 50 for the help, but for heaven's sakes, get some good people.
Don't you worry about a thing, Mr. Trinkle. I think I have the right party in mind. Exactly the right party.
And the gag there is they leave and they're in phone booths, right?
Yeah.
And they leave and then they're in phone booths right next door to each other.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually very clever.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is like a top secret or like a police squad thing. This is like, I laughed. I was like, that's funny.
That felt like, what is that? Oh God, I can't remember the name of it. Like that spy show where
Get Smart.
Yeah, Get Smart. There we go. Yeah, that felt like a Get Smart gag.
No, I was telling you to get smart.
Yeah,
got him. Okay. By the way, 150 grand in 1975 when this movie was made is worth about 900 grand today. So you're welcome for that math.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. You got to do it.
Okay, dang.
Yeah. Harry's big plan is to meet by the way, so the cigar. So Dick Van Patten is Harry. He's smoking a cigar in the last scene. You know, the that weird jazz sting before the phone call. The cigar he's smoking is like one of those really classy ones in the green wrapper. He's just like, oh man, dude.
And what I love about his face too is he's like, oh, it's not me. I'm not the one.
His eyes are moving back and forth. And he's like,
yeah.
Bup, bup, bup.
He's got a big smile on his face. He's like, I'm not the mole here. Don't worry about me.
Which is very funny because like, and Harriet is like, I don't know which one of these people could potentially be the mole, and the only one acting like a mole and looking shady as all is Dick Van Patten. He's like smirking and blowing smoke out and shifting his eyes. It's like, oh, it's you, and then the movie's over. Like that's it.
That would have been awesome. I would have preferred that.
So Harry's big plan, the people that he had in mind for this caper, is to meet our old friends AJ Arno and his henchman Cookie as they're being released from jail. The two agree to get the formula, and later that night, they try to break into the college to find it. Now, hijinks ensue, and needless to say, their plan failed. And again, there's nothing else to really talk about because it's all exasperated yelling and shouting, and nothing happened. They break in, they can't get the thing, they get chased out. That's it. So on to the next plan, kidnapping Skylar to get the formula direct from his brain. And Arno says, I know a certain Chinese gentleman who can be a great help in a case like this, along with another little exotic music stinger.
Oh my gosh.
God, dude.
And you're in for a good time when you call out the race of the person specifically and it's 1975.
I know. And then just like dun, dun, dun. I mean, you might as well just hear dun, 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 dun. Yeah, come on, man. So while at an event called the Annual Meeting of the Chinese Businessmen's Association is taking place in a room decked out in red and gold banners, because, you know, communism, I guess, I don't know. Next door to that room, our man Skylar is being strapped to a table while Mr. Fong, who is the certain Chinese gentleman, practices the ancient Chinese art of acupuncture on the boy in order to get him to talk about the formula. He nails Skylar in the forehead, and Skylar starts spilling the formula. And, you know, he just is like basically long words for vitamins. You know, it's not really anything special. Now, of course, he needs 2 needles because that's probably because Skylar has such a big, fat, round, red tomato head.
Skull is so thick.
I do have a little bit of that.
Anything else, my son?
And 1 piece of pizza.
Must admit, very unusual ingredients for medical formula. However, ways of Western people I not quite understand.
That sounds crazy to me, too.
Well, what else can you expect from this dopey kid? He's come up with a formula that's just screwy enough to work. Come on, let's get this over to Harry. That crinkle cereal guy's waiting for it.
Oh, wait a second, boys. We gotta take care of the kid here. He can identify us.
Young man will be unable to identify anyone. He will remember only what I tell him to remember, will do only what I tell him to do.
Good. I trust you, Fong. See that he gets home as soon as possible, and make sure he doesn't remember anything. Just give Cookie and me a minute to get out of here. Come on.
My son, you will awake when I clap my hand. When you do, you will remember nothing. You will not remember where you have been, nor what has happened to you. All you will know is that your little dog is home, and he is looking for you.
Well, anyway, you heard the flutes in the background, and you know we're loving it, man. We're loving it. So Mr. Fong basically was like, "Look, you're not going to remember a single thing. You just get home in any means possible. Take the first mode of transportation you can find to get home. Your dog misses you. That's all you need to be focused on." And so Skylar is stupid, so that's what he does. Outside of this event, there's like the police chief is taking pictures and a bunch of cops, or whatever. So he walks out. He sees a cop car and he goes, all right, I'm going to get in the cop car. So he steals the cop car, but he's brainwashed, right? And he just goes home. The cops track him, obviously. They tackle him in his front yard, whatever, the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. So we're skipping ahead through all that. We're skipping ahead through the CEO himself of Crinkle Crunch testing the newly stolen formula in very much the same way that Dean Higgins was doing in front of the Crispy Crunch or whatever it was, the other people's cereal. He's like strutting around the boardroom. He's like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? I should swing from the chandelier. No, that's too tacky. I'm going to do a karate chop. But he like hurts his hand. So he realizes this is the formula that doesn't work. Okay. I saved you guys maybe half an hour of just beating your brains against the wall. So the day of the weightlifting competition, the day of the weightlifting competition has arrived. State versus Medfield, side by side on stage once more, only this time with 50% more leotards. The State boys are honkers, man. They are just slabs of beef with tube socks. It is incredible. And it absolutely smells crazy in there.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are probably pushing 30. Yeah. They are just yoked, dude. They couldn't scratch.
Fast forward to this part.
Yeah, they couldn't scratch the opposite side of their ribs. They are just monster boys.
One thing I love about it, though, is that these are 1975 fellas. So they're bulk, like their bodies are rounded, where dudes now get shredded.
Well, that's what HGH will do with you, man.
Yeah, these guys are the old-fashioned round bodies, like almost like balloons. They're bulk.
Yeah, you would say like fat fit almost. Where you're like,
almost fat fit.
Yeah, you're yoked. Yeah, in different ways for sure. They are.
These guys are like they're far past our college level. Like They called these guys back. They gave them honorary degrees.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know what's weaker, the plot or their hairlines. It is honkers is the only word I can come up with to describe these kids, man.
Yeah.
So the whistle blows and the two teams start eating their respective cereals. That's where we're at, by the way. It's a weightlifting competition sponsored by cereal companies. So before they're all lined up on stage, we get to see them and we're allowed to. We get to. We don't have to. We are encouraged to. See everybody eating cereal. That's part of the competition for some reason. Part of the movie. Yes, exactly right.
Film. Yeah. You get to watch men eat.
Yeah. So they're eating their respective cereals. And while the Medfield team think that the cereal is working, because all these little nerds like, I feel great. Dexter knows something is wrong because he didn't blow smoke out of his nose. The smoke means it's working. So then he goes backstage to talk to Skylar about what's going on.
What's the matter, Dexter? Plenty. Professor, we got trouble. The formula doesn't work.
Doesn't work? Dexter, how can you say it doesn't work? Look at them.
Yeah, look at them. They're just carried away. They're just psyched up, I'm telling you, but they're not any stronger. Skylar, you didn't change anything, did you? No, I'm sure I didn't. That's just not the same. It isn't. Well, gee, I can't understand what could have gone wrong. It's missing something. No smoke, no nothing.
Now, Dexter, what do you think is wrong?
I just don't know. Wait a minute. The acid taste. It had an acid taste before.
But a vitamin formula like mine wouldn't have an acid taste. That's impossible.
You're right. A vitamin formula wouldn't, but mine would. It had a definite acid taste. That day, half of my formula was missing.
What day was that?
The day all that stuff got knocked over in the lab. The day the cow gave all the milk. Well, that was the day before I ate the cereal and got strong. Skylar, somehow my formula got mixed up in the cereal. It was my formula that gave it the strength, not the vitamins.
You mean my formula didn't have anything to do with it?
Well, I don't know, Skylar. All I do know is that we don't have the right formula now, and if we want to win, I'd better get the right one in a hurry.
So there you go. Skylar, an overacting schmuck. So Dexter realizes we got to get the right formula. It's his formula, so he knows where it is. It's in the lab. So he rushes. He leaves to go get it, basically. But meanwhile, the competition's still going on, Matt. You would think that they would stop, but they're not. No one needs to know, right? So State is up first, and this man absolutely crushes. Like, he just pops up 250. It's, it's like what, clean jerk or whatever it's called.
It's clean and jerk.
There you go, clean and jerk. So he just pops up 250 pounds easy as you like. No problem. No strain. Just like, boom, down, snapped it. He's good. Then it's Medfield's turn. The scene is kind of a bit like Nerds, the movie Nerds, where you have the jocks looking like jocks and the nerds looking like nerds.
Like Revenge of the Nerds. I don't want to talk about this scene. Can we just skip it?
In a real world, it would be obvious who would win, right? Of course, thinking they have the upper hand. Medfield, the dude's trying to lift 275 pounds. And you don't really know until after the whole competition is over. They're just adding up everybody's score. Maybe that's just how weightlifting competitions like against colleges worked, and everybody knows this, but they don't explain the scoring. So Medfield's going for larger numbers. And Peter Peterson, whose nickname is Porky, and you can imagine what he looks like, is up. He's up first for Medfield. He goes for the lift, but strains so hard and for so long that he actually, as he stands up, he stretches his arms out. And by that, I mean, the kid stood up straight, but he was still holding onto the bar on the floor. He elongated his arms like Stretch Armstrong doll.
Yes.
And everyone just erupts in laughter.
He Mr. Fantastic himself. And his body horror is funny in this world.
And everyone is just dying. They are absolutely rolling on the floor laughing. Meanwhile, Dexter has gone to the lab at the school to grab the little bit of liquid he siphoned off earlier in the movie, as he realizes that's the good stuff. And he took Dean Higgins' car, which is a super slow machine. And after beating up AJ Arno and like 6 guys in the lab who followed him to try to get the formula, he realizes that he won't make it back in time to the meet. He's not gonna make it because he's listening to it on the radio. So once again, something weird in local college news is being broadcast on the radio.
Yeah.
And he's tuned into it. So what does he, so he does what anybody would do in this situation. He dumps the last bit of the formula into the gas tank of the car because science is just that simple, right?
It works on anything.
It works on anything. He did drink a little bit, I think, beforehand, like in the studio. That's right. He drank formula in the lab to beat everybody up, and then he had a little bit left in the in the tube, so he dumped it into the tank of the gas he dumped it into the gas tank of the car.
Because make car strong.
Make car what just an oversimplification of like this. These are college kids. This isn't 3rd grade. That's something my kid would do. Well, I need the car to go fast. Fast means strong. Strong means fluid. Fluid go another fluid. Like
that's what I think is so funny. Is like strong for a car, I guess, means car go fast. Not car can smash through wall now. You know what I mean? Like,
not that you need.
It's not a fast formula.
Yeah, not that you need 400 pounds to depress the gas or brake pedal because it's so strong. No. In fact, as we learn as this scene unfolds, car weak. Yes. Car weak, motor strong, motor fast, but eventually also everything explode. It just doesn't. It's like I understand it's a Disney movie. Okay, I'm not stupid, but like on some level, science can't work like this. You can't just go fluid go in gas tank. There you go. That's it. And then now the same effects that would happen on a biological entity now happen to a motor coach.
2M old car. I know. And the funny thing is, it feels like the plot would have been served better had Dexter realized that he has super strong legs and can run fast.
Right, exactly.
Honestly, it would have made the ending it would have tied it together much better.
Yeah. Yeah, but we couldn't piss Dean Higgins
super
off.
Fast home.
Yeah, so there's that. So anyway, he dumped the last bit of formula into the gas tank. And because science is just that simple, he takes off in a cloud of black smoke, which is he's basically Cole rolls AJ Arno and all these people. He's burning his way through town. In fact, he's going so fast, the car literally is being torn apart as he's driving it. And it actually is a very cool effect. It looks neat. It looks believable, which is weird as that is to say. It looks like the car is just disintegrating as he's driving, around Griffith Park or whatever. Yeah, it looks cool. So realizing he has to stop for, I believe it was a red light or whatever, Dexter slams his feet down on the brakes, but he does it so hard that he busts through the floor. In Fred Flintstone fashion, my man slaps the dogs down on the pavement and screeches to a halt. Now, 2 cops get behind him and harass him for his license, not realizing, as I did at first, that Dexter is actually using his feet to keep the car in place. He's doing a kind of brake stand. The back wheels are spinning and screeching, even though they're not, I guess they're like on the pavement. I couldn't really remember. Dexter's sweating and he's struggling. He looks like Benicio del Toro in Leaving Las Vegas, in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, when he's just like sweating. He's like, dude, the bats, man. He's just pouring sweat. This is what he looks like. He is not a well child. So he's doing the brake stand. Dexter's sweating. The cops are like, where's your license? I'm not noticing anything. I'm a cop. Anyway, Dexter hears on the radio that he's got 2 minutes to get to the meet or else it's going to be over. So he lifts his feet up and he takes off and he blows black smoke all over the cops, which can't be good to breathe. I was thinking, like, you can see it like in their nostrils. Like, no matter what it is, these people are inhaling not good stuff. You know what I mean? So God bless them. I rolled up a little too fast.
Actors got paid extra.
I hope so. Probably not back then. They're like, whatever. We're working. It's fine. So Dexter skids into the studio in the car with seconds to spare. Like, he crashes through because the car's strong. He crashes what's left of the car into the stage. So he's like, he didn't kill anybody, by the way. Like, where the cameraman, because it's, a typical studio where there's a studio audience and then there's space and then there's the action on the stage. And he luckily makes it right in between those two things. He could have wiped out half the studio audience. So for him to win, because Medfield did so terribly, for Dexter to win, he has to lift 1,100 pounds. And they have this racked for him as if it's a feat a real human could even attempt, much less do. Like, can you imagine the setting up this match, right? This is, we're talking about just bubble bursting here, but like, you're setting up this match and you're going, like, you're working it and you're one of the people, racking plates. And you're just like, this kid, these kids can lift 100 pounds maybe. And we're going to have one guy do 1,100. The other guy's like, come on, Frank, just rack the plate. It's fine. Just put it on. It'll be okay. As if they have that much. The first guy lifted 250 pounds and they have 1,100 on. Stupid.
It's like they just needed it on hand. They're like, just in case.
Yeah, I know, dude. Like, they're not going to share whatever. So I looked it up because I wanted to know after I wrote like a feat a real human can, like, could really.
That's funny because I had this in my notes too. So I want to see if you got the same thing.
There you go. Well, the world record for clean and jerk or whatever it is, as of 2021 is 581 pounds. That's the world record. At the time of filming this movie, it was closer to 370. So the fact that that dude popped out a 250, press or whatever is pretty good. I mean, that's no amateur thing. That's Olympic weightlifting competition stuff, right? So anyway, of course. So if you could believe anything else in this movie, this is what you can't believe. You know what I mean? Anyway, of course, Dexter lifts the massive weight with literally 1 second to spare. Like we're getting edited back and forth. He's struggling because he is struggling because I guess that's maybe wearing off or whatever. And the timer's ticking down to 0. And right before it hits 0, he just extends the arms. He gets the extension. He's good. Whistle. We win the meet by 1 pound. By 1 pound. Like so, I think the total was like 1,560 to 1,561.
Yeah.
All the Medfield kids lift Dexter up along with Skylar, and they're all chanting, "We are number 1." And we get a nice little a bit of an announcement from the play-by-play guys. And everyone's getting lifted up on their shoulders.
So wild.
Yeah. Somehow they don't explain how all this will translate into the cereal game. But for now, Dexter Riley is, in fact, the strongest man in the world, Matt. And that is the final of the final exam of the Medfield College trilogy.
Everyone in that science class passed.
Well,
honorary.
I can't, again, help but think, like, what happens after this? Mm-hmm. So Dexter Riley crushes the world record for weightlifting, right? With 1,100 pounds. Just smokes it. To modern day, nobody has ever achieved that. What does he do after that? Like, he's in the record books. He's going to be the focus of documentaries and newspaper articles and books for years after. What does his life look like now, I wonder?
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought about that. Let's take a break. It sounds like I need a break.
Yeah. I think you're thinking a little too far.
I know.
Wait, so before we close this out briefly.
Yeah.
So now that Medfield has won.
Yes.
Let's review again. I forgot, what did they actually win? Did they win money?
Well, you know what,
Crumple Crunch actually say, if we win, we'll give you money? Because they don't have a formula to give them.
No, they didn't. At least, it wasn't, maybe it was something that was written in between the pages and we didn't get to see it, or was on the cutting room floor because, who wins from this is Crumply Crunch. That's it. They're the winners. Everyone thinks that their cereal is number 1 because there's like super vitamin X or whatever they call it, whatever dumb
Dean
shit they called it.
Is still out, right? He didn't make them any money.
He didn't make them a single dime.
He didn't make Medfield any money.
Yeah, and I think like back then maybe it was just enough to have your name tied to an event. So Medfield won an event and smashed the record, and therefore the alumni will donate more. I don't know.
Let's hope. I don't know. That's one thing that I think is so funny about this is they're like, hey, Dexter won. He lifted the heavy thing. Great. Did we resolve the actual problem the movie set up?
No.
At all.
Well, and what I wanted to see also is Dean Higgins reacting to his car being demolished, because that was his baby. He made a big thing. There's so much unresolved in this movie, and I'm like, can we make it worth my friggin' time, dude? But so far it's cereal company gets money, and but also how, because they don't have this vitamin formula. So it just this is whatever.
They produced a Super X cereal chemical thing
boxes.
And they put it on the box and everything, and it doesn't do anything.
Well, and the boxes have like the CEO's face on them. So it's like the Crumply Crunch has this chick's face on it, and Crinkle Crunch has the other guy's face on it, which are the two least appetizing faces I could ever think of.
They don't make me think of yummy cereal for sure.
No, they are it's like mid to late 60s individuals. Like this is
what's
not
so funny is, and I hate to do this, but it's like, so they now have this Chemical X box. It says it right on there.
Yeah.
And now Medfield has won and Dexter lifted that weight.
Yeah.
So now it is implied that Dexter did that because of the cereal.
Correct.
So now people are going to eat the cereal. They're going to injure themselves thinking they can lift their cars. And then it's going to be a infinity lawsuit.
It's going to be awesome is what you mean. Yeah.
So, yes. So ultimately, this is a terrible thing that's happened.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here. Let's take we're not getting out of here. Let's take a break real fast. We're going to come back, and Matt has a bunch of stuff to talk to us about too, about Medfield College and this whole movie and what what happened with it. I guess
I got some fun stuff. I think.
There we go. We'll figure it out. Hang on, everyone. It's Buena Vista Boys. We'll be right back.
So you think you're number one, do you, huh? Do you?
Yes!
Do we deserve to be number one?
Yes!
We've got to prove it. You think we can prove it, men?
You can do it!
I know, man. I know. The weights. No. They're too easy.
The lights!
That would be silly. I have it! You all know that Dean Wig can split that cheap tabletop of Harriet Crumley's with the karate chop. Can I do less with this?
Perfect!
And then, stand back and watch out for splinters.
All right, thanks for hanging on, everybody. We are back talking about the strongest man in the world, Dexter Riley, apparently. That's what the record books are going to say. And Matt is here, and he's going to tell us some bunch of facts and some fun information about the man.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on here in the world of cereal and strongman.
Yeah, dude. Which is a classic strongman food, by the way.
Yeah, always.
And
right?
you know all those dudes from State are like, oh, good, we have to eat cereal before. We can't put chicken breast in here. You know what I mean?
You put poor little creatine powder in here real quick.
Yeah, dude.
God. All right, so my section is called Snap, Crackle, Pop Culture.
Nice. See, I feel like that had more thought than this entire script.
Yes.
For this movie.
Strongest Man in the World deadlifted its way into American theaters February 6th, 1975. And it made about $6.6 million at the box office, which is the best financial performance of the three movies.
Really?
It went, I know, I looked it up to make sure, because it went this movie, then Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, then Now You See Him, Now You Don't. And it like basically broke down by millions. So it's like this made 6.6, Computer made about 5+, and then Now You See Him made about 4 something. So
all right.
This, and I don't know if it was like $1975, if that's
yeah, I mean at that point, yeah.
But it did perform the best of the three, at least initially.
I love that for them.
Yes. And so Vincent Canby of the New York Times described it as a Walt Disney comedy based on the old magic formula story that served the company well through thick, The Absent-Minded Professor, and thin, The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes.
Damn.
Yeah. The new film, which opens at theaters throughout the city yesterday, is nowhere near as funny as the first, but a lot better than the second. And if this guy's still alive, I'm going to go kick his dog.
A lot better than the second. I
don't even humbly disagree. I vehemently disagree.
Yeah.
I hatefully disagree. That Now You See Him, Now You Don't, I'm sorry, is the best of the series here. And the thing is, I've seen multiple people. I watched a video that I'll give credit to at the end. There's a channel that I watched for this. This gentleman did a pretty nice breakdown. And I think even he said that he liked this one better than the rest of them. And I just can't see it. I cannot see it.
No, I can't see it either. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to, this is the pauses you hear. I'm trying to put myself in their position.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if my physical reality will allow for that to happen. My neurons are too strong. I'm too powerful to figure this out because it doesn't make sense. Like nothing happened in this movie. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why it was so good.
And the problem is it's so far from reality. Like you're right. It did turn into such a Batman episode. And there's so many character actors in this movie that went on to do like one-off bits in like television that it's so far from reality compared to Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, where they were at least like, hey, this kid's got a computer brain. Let's fly him around the world. Let's have him meet with gurus. Like something that might actually happen.
Yeah.
You know, if you had that kind of genius. And like this movie didn't have a car chase, right? It had a car in it, but it didn't have a car chase, didn't have a paint fight.
And where would we be really if we didn't have as many paint fights in cinema history as we did, you know?
I'm just saying, it's like, you know, you watch the second movie and it's so competent, it's so clean, but it has good action. AJ Arno is still like really interesting in it.
Yeah, well, the whole golf thing, like, I mean, to be fair, the second one is a little long in the tooth.
Fair enough.
But this one made a lot of money too. I don't know. Who's to say, man? The movie going public is fickle. If this podcast stands for nothing, let it be that.
Anyway, we'll move on from it. But Stuart Oldham of Variety remarked that the students of Medfield College unintentionally zap the laws of nature with unexpected and sometimes hilarious results.
Win.
Thanks. I mean, appreciate that observation.
That could be for any of the three movies.
Right?
This is not Jesus, dude.
I'm just saying that's great work. It covers him, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it lets you know that he saw the movie, maybe. Kids of Medfield College did science.
That's right. But things went
amazing
weird.
Results.
Yeah. On the national stage, things went wild.
Yeah, you didn't want to watch that movie. But as far as this, so this is where it gets interesting as far as like why this feels like television. And again, the first movie came out in 1969, I believe. So this is 6 years later. And a lot changes in 6 years, to be fair. And so trying to recapture that original this many years later, and with a few change-ups, I can kind of see why the vibe changed for sure. Robert Butler, who directed the first two movies, he is out as director for this installment, and Vincent Macavity is in, and we have touched on him before in Buena Vista Boy segment. But Vincent cut his director's teeth on television, like lots of television. Man from U.N.C.L.E., Rawhide, Bonanza, Perry Mason. You're gonna hear some of these show names come up again too.
All right.
Star Trek and many, many more before and later. This guy directed lots of television. The Buena Vista Boys started taking note of him around 1971 because he directed $1 Million Duck. And then he directed this movie. Then he directed The Treasure of Matacumbe and Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo, Apple Dumpling Gang Rides Again. And he was covered as the uncredited director. We covered him for those scenes from Watcher in the Woods.
Yes, that's right.
He had to come in. He uncreditedly directed those pieces. He also just happens to be the brother of the writer Joseph Macavity, who wrote and co-wrote all three Medfield films.
What did I say at the beginning? It sounds like somebody's brother-in-law's cousin was like, "Here, dude, here's this project." Man, I'm too smart for my own good, man. I swear to God.
I know. And it's like, but it's, you know, just because you write something, it's like, do you then like have the nepotistic powers to like bring your brother in? Because it seems like
I tell you what, I'm doing research for something else, and it involves All Quiet on the Western Front, that old chestnut.
Yeah,
and Universal Pictures, who was founded by Carl Laemmle, and he's like the powerhouse kind of producer of the day. He produced Dracula, Frankenstein, like all the classic Universal movie monsters. Okay. That's him. It was his idea. Like he ran with it, whatever. And so he gave this directing job to his son, Carl Laemmle Jr., or this producing job. And then he hired he was like infamous for hiring his family and friends to these high paying, positions. The difference is they executed really well. Right. So he did know what he was doing. Like his kid, that movie, All Quiet, like it was like one of the first ones to win an Oscar for, I forget now. Yeah, it was amazing. Movie. Right. It was like, I haven't seen it, but like they won like a bunch of awards. It's like in AFI's top 100 movies. I think it's like number 7 or something like that. It's like super influential, whatever. So yes, I think if that stands to reason, and that happened in the 30s, I think it still happened even in the 70s. It probably still happens today, maybe not as much, because the term Nepo baby is kind of almost like a slur, where it's like, I don't care if I know. But it's funny.
So it's like, but we only get mad when they don't deliver. Like when something is like, hey, my cousin, I got him the job and he screws it up. That's when we care.
That's when we care.
If you knock it out of the park. They're like, good choice, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it runs in the family. Way to go. Yeah.
But so to further this point of these television ties, so Joseph McAvity's co-writer for this installment of the series was Herman Groves. And Herman Groves, his career was comprised of television script writing, like predominantly. So again, he wrote for Bonanza, Surfside 6, Have Gun Will Travel, The Rifleman, Rawhide, Lost in Space, Bewitched, Gunsmoke, and many, many more before and after. He only has 2 movie writing credits. And so it's this film and then Guns in the Heather. So,
God, that sounds like a fake movie. Yeah, it sounds like a fake movie where it's like either it sounds like the book that Kathleen Turner wrote in Romancing the Stone.
Yeah,
it also sounds like this game I'm playing called Retro Rewind, where you you would love it. It's you're in the 90s and you are running it's a video rental shop simulator.
Oh, sick.
But it's really rad because there's like tons of just what I imagine are AI generated movie titles. They're just bonkers. Like things like The Toaster and Me, The Rose That Never Called Me Back.
Thunder and Glory.
Sounds like, dude. Yeah. The Guns in the Heather. Get out of town.
Maybe it's a fake credit that he made to like that his resume.
You could do that. I mean, like what I was always told when I was trying to be in acting and doing stuff in Hollywood adjacent, where you just put in production.
Yeah.
If you don't have a resume, just put Guns in the Heather in production.
Yeah, it's in pre-production.
Yeah, that's it. You don't need to know that because you can't check. There's nothing to check. It's in production. You already cast in the thing. That's great.
You have 36 things in pre-production right now? Okay.
I'm a busy guy. What can I say? Anyway, go ahead.
For me to call you a liar.
Yeah.
So the titles, like we touched on at the beginning, the titles for this were done by Art Stevens and Guy Deal. And I wouldn't even have brought this up, except like I knew that something better had to have come from their work. And so Guy Deal, he worked on the title credits for this. And then after this, he worked on the Shaggy DA. And then he has no other title credit to his name. He got promoted. He got bumped out of title credits. And his career really took off after that, because then he started doing work in the art department for The Rescuers, Oliver and Company, The Lion King, Pocahontas, Tarzan, The Emperor's New Groove, and more and more and more. I just don't want to go on forever about Guy Deal. I'm sure that
Guy Deal.
That's about as much as we need to talk about. But
yeah, it's Kim Deal's dad. In that case, that's something to talk about.
But this is for this is for the deep Disney heads who really want to know this. It's and then Art Stevens has a little bit of a thicker career. He did title design work for Escape from Witch Mountain, Apple Dumpling Gang, Hot Lead Cold Feet, Freaky Friday, No Deposit, No Return, which is coming up. I can't wait. And then he's also one of the credited directors for The Rescuers and Fox and the Hound. And I looked this up, and maybe you know more about this than I do, but it's Fox and the Hound and The Rescuers both have 3 directors. And I don't know why that would be. I didn't go crazy into detail because I know that we ultimately have better things to talk about. But it's but there are 3 titled directors for both of those movies.
You know, I couldn't tell you. The thing that I can just guess about is TV and movie have second unit directors where it's whoever's not on screen that's part of the 5 core people. Any establishing shots or whatever get done by the second unit director. So maybe it's stuff like that where it's okay, you're in charge of all the exterior shots and how we cut in whatever the dog's chasing down the road. But then anything else that's the only thing I can think of. Okay. Or, maybe Solo, the Star Wars movie where they needed it rescuing, or we have a million directors coming in on this and it still sucks.
Yeah. God damn. So this is something that I thought was interesting though. And this is sort of just something where it makes sense because so many people worked for Disney at the time, but the titles reminded me of a short that is actually going around the internet right now. You might come across it. It's where Donald explains the pentagram. I've seen a couple of people post this. So I remember this from it running on the Disney Channel. But
it's not like an short AI joke. It's an actual thing where Donald explains the pentagram.
This is real. Yeah. Because it's from Donald in Math Magic Land, 1959.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. You might remember it actually.
Maybe.
And they talk about Pythagoras and all of his friends, and they have to do math in secret.
Yeah.
And so they use the pentagram, and they explain
Greek
the
people
pentagram
coming at you, dude. Watch out.
Right?
Yeah.
But they explain that the pentagram is made up of all these mathematically perfect equations and everything.
Yeah.
And so I was I wonder if there's a connection at all, because the art style looked very similar to some of the Greeks that were in that. I don't know why I thought of it.
Okay.
But then it turns out that Vincent McAveety was the assistant director on that short. And then as an uncredited animator, Art Stevens was actually in the lineup.
Oh man.
But there were tons of others. So it's it's not crazy. There were so many people credited and uncredited that helped animate this, but I thought that was a crazy coincidence.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah. Couldn't believe that. But that also is a great short if people want to go check it out. It does talk a lot about mathematics and the golden mean or the golden ratio and everything.
Yeah.
And it's very educational. It's really cool.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
All right.
I'm still trying to figure out how to get to Torment level 4 and Diablo 4. You know what I mean? I got better shit to do.
All right, fine. Yeah, he doesn't care about his education. I don't care.
No, man, I'm too old for that.
All
the
right.
golden ratio, I don't know, man. if it's how much to tip.
Sequence, come on. But all right, so I want to focus on 2 different people that were the big rivals in this movie, because we'll cover some of the other people like Dick Van Patten. I think we've talked about, and some of the other folks. Dean Higgins we'll have a chance to talk about, or not. Sorry, Quigley. We'll have a chance to talk about him in detail at a later date.
Okay,
in Buena Vista history, because he's been in a ton of Disney movies, but these 2 people are kind of special. So Eve Arden played Harriet Crumpley. She's a clever and graceful actress whose work stretches back to the mid-1920s. She was born Eunice Mary Quendens.
Okay.
Right. In Mill Valley, California, near San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
How close? Yeah. I don't know. Is that pretty close?
It's close-ish for sure, dude. Yeah.
Okay. Eve was interested in show business from an early age. At 16, she made her stage debut after quitting school to join a stock company.
God, dude. You could just do that. I mean, it sounds like she was born in some cash if she's living in Mill Valley, but Yeah, that's so cool, man. I love hearing stories, success stories like that.
Yeah.
Where you're in your teens and you're like, you know what, school absolutely is trash. And I want to act on the stage.
Yes.
And you do it and it's your career and you love it. And it's like, man, that's so good, dude.
Pythagoras, kiss my grits. I want to be in Death of a Salesman.
Yeah, go get oiled somewhere else.
By 1930, she would be a busy actress, and she stayed busy for the next dozen years. She was in At the Circus, which is, I love this movie. She played the acrobat Perilous Pauline, opposed Groucho Marx, and in a Russian sharpshooter in the comedy The Dough Girls. This was in 1944.
The Dough Girls.
For her role as Ida in Mildred Pierce, 1945, she received an Academy Award nomination. And she did, in the meantime, a little bit of like television where she would come on TV sort of being herself, or she would do, like little clip shows where she would do like little sketches and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up is because she kind of became famous for being very quippy, right? So she had a quick repose, and this led to her work in the radio during the 1940s. So her best known role, and where I know her from, is that of Madison High School English teacher Connie Brooks in the show Our Miss Brooks. And so my dad used to love old time radio, and he would buy these cassettes, right? You'd go into like Walden's Books or something like that, and they would literally have these the clamshells like for Disney videos, but they would be huge, and they would hold like 9 cassettes.
Yeah,
and so you could get like Our Miss Brooks, Dragnet, The Shadow, all of this stuff.
Yeah, my dad had The Shadow. That was the thing.
Oh
yeah.
Mwah. We used to listen to that like on drives at night. Scare the shit out of me.
Oh my God. I couldn't hack it even then. I was like, no, this sucks, dude. This is ass.
I liked it, man.
Yeah.
So I used to go to bed listening to Our
You are
Miss
like
Brooks
an old soul. You are like, you should be 89.
Yeah,
you should be
agree.
in a home eating a butterscotch hard candy and rubbing your goiter or whatever that is. You know, that's what
it's always been
doing.
hard to make friends because
they all end up dying before you because they're 94.
I'm so much more comfortable at the Eagles or I'd much rather be at the Elks Lodge than at the discotheque.
At the VFW. Just like, hey boys. Yeah, you should volunteer at like an old folks home, and then they'll put you right at ease. Like, oh, who's the young spry kid moving in
I'll
soon?
be like, I would much rather on a Saturday night. I would much rather talk about how they changed Darren's on Bewitched.
Yeah, dude.
Than whatever's going on.
Than tariffs.
Yeah,
I mean, dude. Yeah. How are we going to afford gas this month? I don't know. But remember when Darren was a different Darren?
Remember when they jumped the shark? I can't believe they did that. Anyway, but she kind of became most famous for doing the show Our Miss Brooks. And the weird thing is she portrayed the character on the radio from 1948. Listen to this, folks, 1948 to 1957. So that was when the radio show ran. But then there was a television show that I also watched with all the same actors, but they did it on television. They did that from 1952 to 1956. So they were on television doing an Our Miss Brooks show. At the same time, they were still doing their radio show.
Man, what a crossover.
Right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know. And then she did one feature film in 1956. That was Our Miss Brooks. It was like all the cast of characters. But so the one thing I want to bring up here is that the other person she usually played off in the show Our Miss Brooks was a character. He's the principal, Osgood Conklin. He was played by Gale Gordon. And Gale Gordon, the only other thing I knew him for was, if you're a fan of The Burbs, he was Walter.
Oh, cool, dude.
Yeah, he was Walter from The Burbs, and he has that, oh, Miss Brooks. He's got that sound. And he's had it his whole life. Just that signature sound to his voice. And then most people will actually remember Eve Arden as the principal McGee from Grease. So she's the main principal in the movie Grease.
Nice.
And I just found out Eve Arden was actually born on April 30th, 1908. And your boy here was born on April 30th, 1980.
Oh, dang,
so
dude.
We share a birthday.
See,
I know.
you got kismet, dude. Should have married her.
Oh, God, I wish.
She was 72 when you were born. You're like, yes.
We would have made it work.
That's right. You had to.
So the other side of this, the serial yin to her yang, is Phil Silvers, who played Kirkwood Crinkle.
Yes, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
He started his career in entertainment in 1922 at 11 years old. And what would happen is a frequent accident at New York City's movie theaters was that their film projectors would break down. Someone had to keep the audience entertained during the repairs, so Silver was hired to sing to them.
Oh,
part of his reward was he got to attend the movie theater free of charge.
Okay.
So
all right.
This, which is interesting because you have to see Phil. So, right, the guy with the glasses, and he's hi-ying the table.
Yeah.
He starts as a singer, which I think is fascinating. And by 1924, Silvers performed as a professional singer in the Gus Edwards Revue. His employer was theater company owner Gus Edwards. Then he took to working in vaudeville and as a burlesque comic. So he stopped singing, started singing a little bit, started transitioning into doing comedy in vaudeville, of all places. So he made his feature film debut in Hit Parade 1941. Silvers worked primarily as a character actor over the following decades, appearing in films produced by 20th Century Fox, Columbia Pictures, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. When the studio system declined, Silvers initially returned to the theater. He did not become a household name until starring in his own sitcom called The Phil Silvers Show, which I thought was interesting. Like,
wow.
How do you get that? You know?
You some brother-in-law's cousin, dude. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. We're like, oh, you've been around for a long time. I mean, when was that? Do you know? It was, probably
it was 1955 to 1959.
I would imagine that's when more cable channels are starting to pop around. And like, we need content. You are a professional. We'll give you your own show. I don't really care.
Yeah, it's crazy how many stage comedians were sort of getting their own named show.
Yeah.
Instead of being in something, they were all kind of popping up like Seinfeld. You know?
Yeah.
But they would. We're like Seinfeld. If Seinfeld was in the 1950s, it would be called The Seinfeld Show.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Seinfeld Review.
But then a lot of the older people would recognize him immediately as Ernest Ernie Bilko, because he is Sergeant Bilko. I don't know if you remember that show.
I've never seen it. I'm familiar of the name.
Yes. Yeah. He was a United States Army Master Sergeant. The character Bilko was depicted as a con artist and a gambler who could fast talk people into complying with his schemes.
Is that where the term getting bilked comes from?
I would have to look it up. I'm not going to say yes.
Like you got ripped off. You bilked me out of a bunch of money or whatever. That I remember. That's the thing. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I made it up.
That could be true.
This show is weird today, folks.
I know. We should have reviewed these because you ask me all these random things.
I know.
And I'm willing to look them up.
It's my problem. That's my fault. It's like I can't not talk, and it bothers me. And I apologize. Go ahead, please. I'll try to be better.
I think they tried to redo Sergeant Bilko as a movie with Steve Martin, I believe.
Yes, I remember this. I didn't see it, but I remember it happening and going like, "Wow, that looks like it sucks."
Yeah, exactly.
I love Steve Martin, by the way. I will kiss that man full on the mouth if I could. I love him so much.
Yeah, if I had been able to, I would have kissed Kurt Russell on the mouth, but they wouldn't let me get near the stage.
They arrested you.
I love that, though. Dude, did I tell you, just to cut into the middle of this? So Kurt Russell, because we had done that big piece on him and talked about, the Mavericks and everything. So I'm in Portland. I'm at the thing. They're talking to Kurt Russell. He's doing this as a thank you because they'd given a ton of money to his wife's charity. And so they're talking about how his dad owned the Mavericks, and we're in Portland, so it's actually kind of appropriate. And my man just goes absolutely uncle on everyone and just talks about baseball for the better part of 20 minutes. And I could not have been happier. You've got all these guys in the black shirts, and they're like got Snake Plissken on them, and what is it? Big Trouble in Little China, and they just want to hear about all this cool stuff he did. My man just unks out. He's going off about this guy could have made pro. He was great. And he's like, this guy had a great arm and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is the best day of my life.
That's awesome, dude.
I could have absolutely just heard nothing but that. I'm like, I don't care what a director said to him about something. I don't care. You can watch that on a video somewhere.
Yeah, that's the yeah.
I want to hear my boy talk about baseball.
Yeah, dude. And he would prefer to do that too.
Totally. And he was comfortable. He sounded just like my Uncle Brian.
Nice, dude.
He sounded like literally his voice sounded like my Uncle Brian, and he had the same pacing. Just talk about nothing. I loved it.
Yeah, dude.
But Silvers appeared frequently as a guest star in then popular sitcoms such as The Beverly Hillbillies, Gilligan's Island. Then Silvers survived in 1972 a stroke, although it left him permanently with slurred speech. This effectively ended his theatrical career, although it did not prevent him from appearing in further films and television roles. God love him. But that sort of, again, travels into the reason that this feels like a TV show. Because this character, Eve Arden, all these other people are from television. The people who are making it, the people who are writing it, the people who are directing it, the actors, they're all from television.
Interesting.
And so that is why this show feels so, this movie doesn't feel like a movie.
Yeah.
Feels like a 1 hour and 40-minute episode of a show.
Yeah.
And then I can't not mention this. William Schallert, who plays Professor Quigley, who we will meet again in future Buena Vista movies. So we'll do a deep dive then. He was in an episode of The Twilight Zone, season 1, episode 33, Mr. Beavis. And he plays a policeman at an accident.
Mr. Beavis and Mrs. Butthead.
It's not a bad episode. It's not one of my favorites, but it's Beavis.
Yeah.
You got to check it out.
You got to.
So this is more for me than anybody else, but the special effects team for this movie was Art Cruikshank, which we've covered on Buena Vista Boys for his work in Escape from Witch Mountain. And then Danny Lee, longtime collaborator with Art. And then Hans Metz. And Danny and Hans worked together on Now You See Him, Now You Don't. So it's just kind of a team got back together.
That's right.
Plus Art, who I don't know if these guys have all worked together, but I mean, 3 great individuals that did the effects for many Disney movies. And it's nice to see them working together here. It's why that car fell apart so well.
Nice, dude. Yeah. That was probably the best effect across the 3 movies. Like, it just looked good. And it wasn't even really it was maybe 5 seconds of action total. It looked great.
Yeah, I gotta say, it was pretty awesome. Yeah. I mean, because there's a part where the lamppost falls over, and it's pretty cool, but you can kind of tell, especially nowadays, that it was made out of foam. Yeah. It's just on like a little.
Well, also it didn't make any sense because he's just like leaning against it. He wasn't pushing it. Like, you have that much weight, you can bend a lamppost, but you're not crushing concrete when you're walking.
Well, that's what I'm wondering is like, did it make him bulkier? Like, did it make him weigh more? I don't understand it,
man.
Anyway, speaking of magical cereal, the Crumply Crunch that everyone kept gulping down, so good even cows love it, was made up of Kellogg's Corn Flakes and Fruit Loops, which in 1975 only had 3 colors.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so
sure.
You can clearly see it, that it's just those 2 mixed together. So to make the cereal do what it needed to do, I can't say this with 100% accuracy, but I was looking it up, And likely what they did to make it sort of shake and sputter and everything like it does is they likely put small pneumatic jets under the bowl, right? And so it triggered those bursts that blew things out of the bowl, while at the same time using a kind of hidden vibrating tray, right? So you've got this stuff shaking.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, they're hitting it with these little puffs of air. So the tiny little flakes are like flying out.
Yeah. I was thinking something like that, but I don't remember seeing much like flying milk. So I wonder if it was puffs of air from outside of the bowl off screen.
Maybe. I don't know. I would have to watch this scene again. Because even though he pours milk in it, I don't remember seeing milk in the bowl.
Yeah.
Because the milk's not even splashing.
No. And you know what? And maybe that's why, because it would then throw the milk when they hit the air puffs. Yeah. So maybe the air puffs were just above the milk line, and then they just covered them all with cereal.
Yeah. But it's like, it feels like that's the only way you'd be able to get that stuff out of the bowl.
Let's get Adam Savage on the line. We need to myth bust this, dude. He needs to reconfigure this.
Since that's the only other like big thing besides a car falling apart, for the most part.
Everything else we figured out.
Because everything else is like the classic stage stuff. Like when Flynn, Dean Higgins like pushes that pillar. It's like it's just it's like just chalk or something like that. It's classic movie magic.
Yeah, and like the one that you could clearly solve is when Dean Higgins his glasses were fogging up. You could see the little valve on the side just shooting, like water vapor or whatever. Yeah, and I was kind of surprised that they stood on it for so long. It was like there. It was really, that scene needed to be cut down way more. But I saw, I was like, that's just a neat effect. It's, even though you can see how it's done, they didn't hide it particularly well. 1975 or whatever it was. Looks cool.
No, I did like that because it's, because Dexter doesn't have glasses to fog up. So it was kind of neat to know that it's like there's that burst of heat that kind of comes through.
Yeah.
And it gave a little bit more of a dimension to like the physical change that you go through.
Which is weird because why was it different? Why did Dean Higgins not breathe out of his nose? You know what I mean? Did he have a deviated septum so it wouldn't work very well? Or like, what's going on?
That's why it steamed out of his eyes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like where is it coming from?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, go.
Okay, so the chemicals that gave Crumply Crunch that extra pop, right? And when what's his name? When Skyler was all stabbed in the forehead and he was just giving away everything.
Yeah.
So one thing he said was thiamine, right?
Yeah.
Thiamine is one of the 4 chemicals based on the makeup of DNA alongside adenine, cytosine, and guanine.
Sure.
Its job is basically structural and informational. It helps store genetic instructions in your cells. I'm not sure you can grind that up and put that. I honestly am not sure that one can be ground to a pulp and thrown in cereal.
Sure, dude. Yeah.
But the other one, calcium panthionate, it's just vitamin B5.
Okay.
Niacin is vitamin B3, and pyroxine. Yeah, pyroxine. It's vitamin B6.
All right. So none of it's going to make you grow muscle.
No.
So they were already off the wrong track to make this cow get larger by giving it vitamin B complex, basically.
No, because the other one is pydroxoamine. Right? Yeah. Anyway, that's just another B6 chemical as well.
Yeah.
It's like nothing.
Vitamin B complex, dude. There it is.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He was literally just pouring vitamins into cereal.
I love it.
And
I love it.
Just off the shelf nonsense. He goes, "This is my strength formula."
I'm so good. I mean, he reminds me of me as a kid when I got my first chemistry set and I was trying to make a fertilizer. And I was like, just mixing colors together and pouring them on weeds to see if I did anything. And then like I got bored after 4 seconds. But this kid's going to college to do the same thing.
It made the giant weed they found from like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Okay, so this is great cereal trivia for 1975. I found this interesting. 1975 saw Golden Grahams hit breakfast tables.
Oh God, that's
Golden
so good.
Grahams didn't exist until 1975.
Oh my Lord.
Mwah. Thank you. Also in 1975, we saw Lucky the Leprechaun get replaced by the mascot Waldo the Wizard, but only in New England. So from GeneralMills.com, this is an interesting thing. Alan Snedeker,
okay,
who created Waldo while working for a New York ad agency, Dancer Fitzgerald Sample, from 1964 to 1985. So he made this Waldo character, and for some reason they wanted to test market him. And so, as we remember, Lucky's catchphrase was "They're magically delicious," right?
Yeah.
Well, Waldo had to have his own catchphrase.
Of course.
So it was "Ibble de bibble delicious."
Stop, dude. Come on. Okay, it's already, I think the joke has gone on long enough, Matt. You've already made up a bunch of people's names. These are all made up names, but now you're making up this. I think it's rude.
Ibble dibble delicious.
Ibble dibble delicious.
Ibble dibble. Ibble de bibble.
Ibble de bibble delicious. I hate this.
It sucks. And in every
it does
commercial,
suck. I would rather watch this movie over again than hear that.
Waldo would lose his box of Lucky Charms and had to find it again. Snedeker actually created Waldo as a mascot for another cereal, Amazing Raisins, which never saw the light of day. Waldo was created and pronounced dead around 1970. He said, "A few years later, I was involved with Lucky Charms and brought Waldo back to life." So it was basically just a test market thing that they were like, all right, well, let's see if the good people of New England somehow identify with a wizard more than.
Yeah, I guess to like help sales or something. But and I guess it kind of makes sense where wizards have charms.
Sure, they have Lucky Charms. Yeah, why not?
Leprechauns are lucky.
Yeah.
You pick one word and you associate it with something else, and there you go. But yeah, that's wild, dude. That's funny.
I'd never heard that. I like to think of myself not as a cereal connoisseur necessarily, but like I know the characters. I got it.
Sure, dude, yeah.
I know Quip and Quake. I got it.
Right.
But that was fascinating to learn that. I really like that. So I want to turn our heads now to AJ Arno and Cookie and their prison sentence.
Okay, let's do that.
Earlier, you said they came out. I think you said they came out of jail.
They did.
They actually came out of state prison.
There you go. Yeah.
I want to cast your mind back because in the last movie, they were convicted of bank robbery and evading police in a high-speed chase.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So for a conviction of federal bank robbery combined with evading police in a high-speed chase, as they did, a defendant could realistically face between 8 to 25 years or more in federal prison. Federal prison.
Right, dude.
Depending on the severity of the incident. I looked this up very specifically. State prisons house individuals who violate California state statute. I'm assuming this is in California.
Yeah.
Which often involves localized violent offenses against people or property. Federal prisons hold individuals who violate U.S. state federal laws, crimes that cross state lines, or offenses committed on federal property. For instance, a basic convenience store robbery goes to state prison, whereas robbery of a bank insured by the FDIC goes to federal prison, which would likely not offer parole. So essentially they robbed a bank. And so it's likely it was federally insured. So they really should have gone to federal prison. But there are a few rare exceptions of banks that are not federally insured, such as the Bank of North Dakota. I mean, you have credit unions, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about a bank.
Sure.
So there's the Bank of North Dakota, which is state-owned and backed by the state's full faith and credit rather than an FDIC. So for Arno and Cookie to go to the state pen, Medfield Bank would have to have been state insured.
I love it.
This is how I spend my time.
Yeah.
But it's like, but think about it also, like what, because remember, these kids are in college.
Yeah.
So even if it's a year later, Arno is walking out of the state pen.
Yeah. He's out. Him and Cookie both at the same time, too.
Because of a phone call from I'm assuming from Cripply Crunch.
Yeah. I'm on the board of the number one cereal in the question mark. Maybe it's the tri-state area. Maybe it's the country. I don't really know. Why don't you let these two people out who have been in your prison multiple times, please, over the past years or two? Thank you.
Just sign them off into my custody. And he's like, sounds great. Yeah, these guys should have been in full federal prison for like a minimum of 15 years, for sure. So let's talk about something we were going to talk about before. Dean Higgins' car.
Yes, all right.
I love this. So you had said it was a Rolls Royce?
That's what it looked like. Yeah, I don't know, man.
You spring child.
Yeah, I don't know anything, man.
They fooled you good, and I'll explain how. So Dean Higgins' car that gets chemically enhanced into Sonic the Hedgehog is a 1930 Ford Model A Cabriolet.
Okay. I thought VWs made the cabriolets.
I looked this up for way too long, matching up pictures and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So this was a convertible style with a rumble seat that fit two people of 1930s cigarettes for breakfast body size.
Nice.
Or one average American now. So its top speed was about 65 miles per hour. Though realistically, the car handled best at around 45 miles per hour.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the reason that you thought that somehow this was a Rolls Royce or of that ilk is because they put a vintage Dodge Inc. Art Deco trophy topper of a winged goddess with a victory torch on the front where that would normally just be a flat top, maybe where like you'd put the radiator water in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they put a trophy topper on that to make it look fancy.
Nice, dude.
I found the exact one. So because I looked, doggedly for it. And so, yeah, it's an Art Deco trophy topper. You can buy one on eBay right now if you really want one.
Nice. That's cool, dude.
Yeah. So that's why it looks so fancy. But I wondered because if you look at the cover of the tire on the side, it says Ford.
Oh, yeah. I don't read. Dude.
Yeah.
I can't read. What are you kidding me? I'm a product of the public school system.
So earlier you did the math on how much money that 150,000 would be.
Yeah.
So let's do some math on some other things. So the $15 a day cow rental in the movie in 1975 is the equivalent of paying about $93 in 2026 money. So $93 a day to rent a cow, which seems reasonable.
It seems reasonable until the cow is used for a college science experiment daily. And you have to return the cow, I guess. Like what? It just seems weird to be like, oh, you know what we're going to do? Let's rent this cow to this college. Oh, it just came back from the science experiment. All right, let's milk it.
Where are they holding the cow?
And then consume them. I imagine it goes back to the farm.
Every night? That's wild. I guess it makes sense, though. You're right, because it's like they had the cow. They didn't know that the cow ate the cereal, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the farmer is calling, I don't know what you did to my cow.
But
so they did that literally that very night.
Yeah.
The cow came back to the farm. So he must drop him off every morning.
Yeah.
So also, Skyler steals the cop car, gets arrested, has to be bailed out. Dean Higgins bails him out with $100.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That would be the equivalent of $610 now. So I see why the dean was pissed, because that is a crap ton of money for that melon head.
Yes, dude. Absolutely.
In the very last scene of the movie, Phil Silvers, Mr. Cripply Crunch, or Crinkle
Crunch, something like that.
He does a karate chop on the cereal table in the contest, right? And a split second before he chops, he turns his hand downward and slaps the table. They're trying to cover it up with the cereal box.
Yeah.
And so it's just really funny because once you see it, you can't unsee it. He karate chops, slaps the table, then brings it immediately back up like a karate chop and goes, ah!
Instead of putting like a pillow down or some foam or
right?
whatever. Yeah. He just like, I can do it. It's fine.
They couldn't just have him hit a brown foam disc
yeah, dude.
to sell it. Okay. I wanted to bring this up. So in the movie, we didn't really touch on it. There is a way too long scene of Cookie and AJ Arno on a window washing rig.
Yes, dude. Yeah, that was the whole where they tried to break in thing.
Yeah.
And
they're trying to break
forever.
in and they're on this window washing rig and AJ Arno is freaking out, making him look like a real puss.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing. And the gag went on way too long. So I looked it up and he had nothing to worry about because the International Window Cleaning Association previously reported that an average of just one high-rise fatality per year over the last 4 years has ever occurred. So all the window washing, I'm assuming in the world, and there's only been one fatality per year.
I would still never do it.
Yeah.
No, I can barely be on the third rung of a ladder, dude. There's no way.
Actually, I looked that up too. I didn't add it in here, but ladders are far more dangerous. They kill way more people a year than these rigs that they're on.
See, there you go.
We're getting into the fine, thick gentlemen of State College.
Yes. Yeah. The big boys.
So one of the uncredited weightlifters, who I'll say when you're watching the movie, he's all the way to the left.
Okay.
His name is Stephen Merjanian. And he started his film career in the aptly named film Muscle Beach Party, 1964. And he was on The Monkees, Lost in Space. And he was a shot putter in the Walt Disney movie Blackbeard's Ghost.
Nice, dude.
And he was a bodybuilder, obviously. Like, I couldn't find as much on him as I would like as the next person we're going to talk about. But yeah, he was a known bodybuilder because I've saw articles about him. People were referencing him. And so he did live in that world too, but he was kind of an actor who'd come on and be like, oh, I'm a big muscly guy.
Yeah,
you know, on TV shows when you
stupid, but I got muscles.
Yeah. So this other person did that same thing, but his career, I could find a lot more about it. So another uncredited weightlifter eating Crinkle Crunch. He's the fourth person in from the right. Oh, going right to left.
Okay.
So he's the fourth person in. His name is Roger Hallard. He's a former American bodybuilder and actor who's won a string of contests in his 10-year-long competitive career. Some of his best achievements were 1975 Mr. USA, 1977 IFBB Mr. America title, and the 1978 IFBB Mr. International title. As the number of trophies in his cabinet grew, so did his reputation among other bodybuilders. There was one bodybuilder specifically with whom Roger developed a mutual friendship and business relationship. And it was none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
There you go.
So
I know that
these
name.
guys, yeah, they want to pump you up. The two worked out at Gold's Gym together and both starred in two bodybuilding movies, Pumping Iron and Mr. Universum. So as Roger's passion for acting grew, his interest in bodybuilding slowly began to evaporate. This movie was his first acting role, though uncredited. He would stay uncredited until an episode of Wonder Woman in 1978. He appeared in the show Laugh-In multiple times as a muscle man, right? He did that same bit. Yeah, I'm a muscle man, right? He's on Barnaby Jones, Charlie's Angels, and he would team up with Arnold and did stunt work for Commando.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah. So
that's that's a good flick. It's not the best, but it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, and as his acting skills progressed, he began to appear in more famous movies such as Twins, right? And then Red Heat. And then he did stunt work again for Total Recall. And he was in Walker, Texas Ranger. So his acting career just continued. He was in the movie Foxcatcher in 2014, and he just did a movie called Bone Hill. I don't think it's great. It's like a horror movie, but it came out in 2025.
Hell yeah.
He has a couple of things that are in production.
Oh, you got to, dude.
Right now.
Classic.
So his most notable role for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, if you knew it was him, is the character Conan the Librarian from Weird Al Yankovic's UHF, right? Where he parodied his good friend Arnold.
Nice.
You don't know the Dewey Decimal System.
That's funny, dude.
So something I will say, we're going to end on kind of a sad note, but it's sort of an important thing.
All right.
Sadly, Joe Flynn, our flustered and constantly put out Dean Higgins. I now quote, because she said it better than I could, from Lisa Mateus from Turner Classic Movies. It's an article she wrote in 2008. Recovering from a broken leg at his Beverly Hills home in July of 1974, the 49-year-old actor was found drowned at the bottom of his swimming pool. He had suffered a heart attack, ostensibly while attempting to swim with his cast on his leg, though some acquaintances were not completely satisfied with that explanation. No foul play was ever seriously considered, but in any case, the sudden and unusual death at so young an age of this beloved comic actor cast a sad pall. Is it Pal or Paul?
Paul.
Sad pall over the subsequent release of Strongest Man in the World. So he died before he could see the film.
That's rough. So, I mean, first of all, he tried to go swimming in a cast. So that's probably why he had the thing on in the beginning scene.
See, and I could not confirm that, but I feel like that is the case, that he had injured his leg and that he was still getting over it, but it was sort of like towards the end of it. And he still had to have a smaller cast on.
Yeah.
And so they put that fuzzy thing on it.
They put it in the movie. Well,
and then they said it was a bunion or something.
If that's true, if that's really what happened, what an idiot. Like, you're going swimming with a cast, and then he probably couldn't make it to the wall, and then had a heart attack because he panicked and then died. That's sad, dude. That's too bad. I know.
Okay, and last, I that's the last thing I have, but I wanted to give credit to the YouTube channel Disney Scrapbook, just because there was some information that they were able to find that I wasn't able to find on my own. So I just want to give a little bit of credit and not leave this person unnamed.
Perfect. There you go. All right, Matt. Well, good job, dude. Overall, well, here's the thing. Sometimes we say, should you watch this movie or not? I mean, still watch it, but just know that it's not good.
Yeah.
But if you've seen the other ones and you want to just catch up with the boys, then watch it. You know what I mean?
I'm a completist. Yeah. I would have to.
Yeah, but it's you're in for it if you do that. I'm just going to say that right now. Well, look, hey, if you want to look as smart as Kurt Russell does at the end of this movie, t.com/ears up. And I made a little Medfield College shirt, and it's sort of in the same vein as his workout gear, as just Medfield, like in a half circle. It's nothing fancy. But maybe we'll church it up a little bit later, but I don't know. I was like, I got to make a shirt of this. It has to happen. And then it did. And now it's just lives up there. So you can check that out.
We need a Crinkle Crunch shirt.
We do need a Crinkle Crunch shirt, dude. That'd be great. That's on you. Go for it.
Yeah.
And if you want to support this show and every other show on our network, because yes, we are a network. We have 6 other shows on here. You can go to patreon.com/earsup. It means a lot. You can support us for as little as $5 a month. And you get a bunch of extra content. We have a backlog. We've been doing this network since 2013. So there's a ton of other stuff on the Patreon that you can listen to, and stuff like that. And also helps keep all our lights on. And we have a couple other shows in alpha stages. We're doing some stuff over here. So if you want to help support that, please give us a shout out over on Patreon. I would really appreciate it, Matt. Once again, thank you very much for all your hard work, and I can't wait to see you on whatever the next movie is.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait. We got a good lineup for the rest of the season.
There you go. All right, everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in, and until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye.